Hoi chummers and fellow deckers. Something a little different this week, ladies and gents. Still gaming related, of course, but it's an introduction to a multifaceted gaming universe that I was wholly unaware of until now, and it was all kicked off because of this book that I've just gotten around to reading this week. It's book number 4 in the Shadowrun universe called 2XS by Nigel Findley, and of course, now I'm quite interested in learning more about the other books and of course the computer games. So, what the heck is this all about to the uninitiated like me? Well, it's actually quite a cool cyberpunk / Magic Realms mashup that's been around since 1989. It's created a world that fuses the mundane and the arcane with futuristic technologies and is centered around a Seattle that has sprayed out to a megacity by 2050. At this point in the future, once mythical beings like dragons and orcs and other things have reappeared, as well as all sorts of magic powers and entities. Anyway, this video is not really a review of the book. There are much better written accounts on goodreads.com. This video is more of a, oh wow, what the hell is this whole universe? So, from what I've read online, it started as a kind of Dungeons and Dragons style role-playing games to play with a group and then morphed into a whole heap of ancillary products. 40 books by the original owners expanded the universe, characters, and then over the years, it spawned a whole bunch of video games. Now, the footage shown here and through the video came from the first one, a SNES game that played pretty awesomely from what I've tried so far. As a primer, let's briefly mention the language that they use throughout the book and throughout the universe. Shadowrun uses a mixture of Japanese technology spliced in with riffs on popular slang from the 90s, as well as made-up words, to come up with a rather specific and identifiable language. No sweat, for example, gets ported to no perspiration. A term of abuse is to tell somebody to slot off, call them a dreckhead and other such terms, which you get used to pretty quickly when you're reading through. Mega corporations seem to control everything, which is quite frightening and is a bit of a parallel to our world right now. They seem to command their own private armies, many soldiers of which have taken advantage of future tech advances like cyberware and bioware. The books do a great job of describing the characters' personal improvements, so you can really imagine living in this world of improved optics where your eyes can see in infrared, or you have increased strength and other such powers. The characters in the book use the Matrix a lot to gain information on their targets. The Matrix is a worldwide computer network that users interact with via a direct neural interface. Data jacks are surgically implanted into your brain and is quite the image to behold. Will we be doing such things in a few years too, I wonder? I don't know. Also, someone out there will be able to tell me if the idea for this came about before the Keanu movie of the same name. On a tangent here, the fact that the book has a lot of Japanese-American corporations running the shots in the world is an interesting cultural throwback to when this book was written in 1992. Back then, Japanese companies were leading the world in tech advancements, particularly consumer electronic innovations. I imagine that if these books were written in the present global climate, then Chinese influence would run through books. And onto the name of the game, as it were. What is a Shadowrun? Well, it's when corporations or governments or organised crime syndicates and even wealthy individuals subcontract their dirty work to specialists who perform shadow runs, or missions essentially, to sort out conflicts of interest. These guys are deniable operators if they are caught and killed. The most skilled of these mercenaries are called Shadowrunners, and based on the one book that I read, it doesn't seem like the majority of them have a very long expected life expectancy, unless they have very good dock wagon coverage. Now, these guys then dig up dirt either in real life or through the Matrix, avoiding ICE, which are like traps and countermeasures that will kill, and then pass that information back to the employer for lots and lots of Newen, if I've pronounced that correctly. This particular book was good fun, mixing in the idea of a technological drug, collusion between a corrupt megacorp and the army, murder, actually multiple murders, magic, shamanic beings, mercenary, and God knows what else into one cohesive, rip-roaring adventure. It's pretty well written, a few double entendres here and there. Thankfully, only one sex scene that was tastefully written and short, and half-decent ending, even if the main bad guy was a bit weird in the end. but overall a recommended read. So really that's it. I've gone from knowing absolutely nothing about Shadowrun, the universe, the subject in general, to being quite entertained, intrigued, and looking for more. I will keep my eyes peeled for more books on my thrifting travels, but I will make do with playing a bit more of the SNES game in the meantime. As always, I hope you found this video interesting. It's a little bit different. Feel free to look at my other videos there and consider subscribing if you like what you see. Alright, thanks a lot. See you.